many men rising to power lately. Tony Hinchcliffe being one that's truly rising to the place that he's always wanted to be. You know, his whole life. I happen to see, and I'm not going to tell you how I found these pictures. They were sent to me. And I don't actually encourage this. A lot of people, I'll tell you this, they send me people's pictures of their houses and phone numbers and addresses, thinking that I'll want to use this for something. We don't. We don't want anyone's address. I mean, I'll look at the pictures if you got them. But I happened to see Tony Hinchcliffe's childhood homes, 3 in a row. Somebody was claiming that some of his childhood stories were made up. One in particular that involves what the outside of his childhood home looked like. And they had sent me 3 versions of all 3 childhood homes. They had watched as his mom purchased homes throughout her life and showed me all of Tony's childhood homes in order. Really, it was an email that sent to me. I did not even respond, I don't think, to this because I don't. It's nobody. But what I saw, I wish I could show you these pictures. Dude, he grew up in like a haunted house. I don't know how else to describe it. You ever like driven down a country road in the middle of nowhere that's got nothing going on and it's just a narrow road where you see just 2 dirt tire tracks in the grass and it goes out to a haunted old shack? That was his first home. I swear to God.
Say that he was actually rich. So that
no.
would be better.
Like, I'm not talking about like a poor person's house. I'm talking a haunted house that you go in, you sneak in to film. Like an abandoned haunted house. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. Like, you see these places, like if you're going down the highway and you're going past a farm and there's like a broken down house.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's right.
Okay, listen to this. The second home he lived in was even fucking scarier. It was, I could only describe it as white projects. Like 2 row homes that were like 2 long trailers, but also in the middle of a giant field, like not in an urban area. In the middle of like a giant field, these row homes where you would see like the people on the Appalachian Trail live, you know, like those psycho hillbillies. And then it got me thinking, and then the third house was like no better, a little bit more of an upgrade. I'm thinking, wait, like we're assuming like Tony is from like a metropolitan area. I don't think he is. He's like a straight up like, what do they call that? Like a inbred hillbilly. Yes. I'm not kidding. So when you look at his face now, like his features to me are like that of like an inbred sewer goon. Like, have you seen the movie Gummo? He grew up in like a Gummo-like environment, not the hood. There's nothing hood about it. Like, people from the hood are scared of this place. I wish I could show you. He grew up like Gummo, shooting BB guns in an old grandmother's toes, sitting around in a bathtub of brown liquid while eating spaghetti. That kind of shit. Here, the best way I could describe his childhood, see Gummo. It is banned on all streaming. You could barely find this. You got to go on eBay to get this film. Gummo. It's by the guy who did Kids. It's by the guy who did Spring Breakers, my favorite movie. The outfit I'm dressed as today, Spring Breaker. Gummo, and I've been dying for Jules to see it. We have it on DVD. I can't get myself to put a DVD in. It feels too old. So that's some insight on Tony that I have for you. I want you to all reimagine him when you see his big twisted lips now. You'll see, I'll do a zoom in. When you see the shape of his head and his big ears sticking out, he's like the kid from Gummo.
On Two Bears, One Cave, he describes his neighborhood as diabolically insane
yes,
to the human eye. So
see, that's what I mean. Lie. But I always thought he was... Here, this is Tony as a kid. Look at this shit. This is the level I'm talking about here. So we're not talking about, oh, he's from like the hood. Like, oh, I'm thinking, oh, there's like b-ball playing going on. No. He's from this type of a hood. This disgusting inbred white trash eating spaghetti in the sewer type of environment. This was Tony riding around town with his... And by the way, have you seen pictures of him as a kid? He looks like one of these freaks. Let me see if I have any more pictures of Tony's growing up, because this is a great way to show you without showing you. Where did Gummo take place? Can you look that up real quick? What city was Gummo based in? And if they say Ohio, I'm going to flip. Because
Xenia, Ohio.
Youngstone.
Okay.
Youngstown Radio. So they're kind of from the same place. And I'm just putting this Gummo thing together right now. There's not a lot of imagery from Gummo, believe it or not, out there. Here. This is like where Tony would hang out. This is what Tony was calling the hood. It's like, yeah, oh, the white trash hillbilly inbred hood, yeah. Okay. Now I understand. That's not cool. I don't want to, and I think that really, now I see him as this person. This guy actually grew up to be the guitarist from Blink-182. Tom. So he got out fine. Okay, well, so that was something I wanted to tell you.
So his rise to power has been significant, you're saying?
He's had a big rise to power right now from his Tom Brady roast. This is the thing everyone's going, oh, he's undeniable now. He did the Tom Brady roast. Well, I came on here like a hater-ass, and I go, well, he had 20 writers for the roast. These are basically the same old roast jokes, just done, in a way that was a little bit different. And the proof is in the pudding. We watch Kill Tony every week. I've seen every episode of Kill Tony that's ever aired. He's bombing constantly and clunkily trying to find his words all the time. All of a sudden, you don't see? Well, this is highly written and edited. They said, no, Mike, no. He's the king of the roast. He's great. Okay. Well, look what we found, and I don't see anyone talking about this. I'm trying to get it to load here. Give me a sec.
Here, wait, I got a YouTube version that I'll send you
YouTube version. Send it over.
Texted it to you.
So this video, I got this video of Tony sent to me hundreds of times this week. So much so that I actually started watching it. I said, ha to about 50 people who sent me this video. Then I finally watch it. This must have struck a nerve with some people. Tony, and we'll show you some of his stuff on Two Bears, One Cave coming up. He is high on his own supply. Which could be the death of a guy.
So
People
true.
don't like that. They don't like the smugness. And he's not doing it in a comical way. He's not doing it in the way his character would do it. When you see him on Two Bears, when you see this clip that was sent to me hundreds of times, also sent to me by people outside of this community of haters. I had like normal people sending this to me too. Going, dude. And everybody had the same thing. They just sent the video and expected me to share the same emotion they're feeling. So let's watch that video that I'm talking about that everybody is sending me while they shake their heads. Let's see this. So it's Tony.
You were a superstar.
I hate these. You were a superstar. So it's Tony outside smoking. I've always had a problem with how Tony smokes. It's not natural. It's weird. It's almost like very weird. It's like he grew up not smoking, but always wanted to smoke. I don't know. If you grew up smoking, you'd be a little bit more casual. He's always like this, staring down the barrel of the gun. I always say that people smoking, when they do this, like they're doing a full sip, they look at what they're smoking and keep their eyes open. That looks foolish. It looks girly. It looks retarded. It looks like you're fake smoking. This is how a real man smokes. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know what's going on here. This thing's got a mind of its own. It's just a comfortable little thing. Tony's always... Did you see that? Cigarettes. And it's like, how could anyone stomach that? I'm glad there's still people who can't stomach him. This is the video. Let's see what happens here.
And if you only knew, I'm about to spill the beans on these mother. They don't even know. I'm about to give them the whole inside scoop about how it was supposed to be a short set. They wanted to keep me at the table. They didn't want me to make fun of this. They didn't want me to make fun of that. And then we said, okay.
And then you just get up there and you're just
Right.
Look at
The
this.
world. They gave me a chance. You know what I mean? They gave a hungry.
This is almost should be like he didn't know he was being filmed.
I was going to say, does he know that this
Oh,
was
he
being
know,
recorded?
of course, 100%, but he shouldn't.
That's cool.
talking like this type of, and he really thinks he's a king. To talk like this in front of people, this is the defect that only a gummo inbred. I want this inbred, Tony inbred, inbred. Look at him. He looks, he's inbred, bro. That's a new one. I bet you never thought we were going to start doing this with him. And he knows. That's his big secret. That's why he hates trans people and all this. Because his whole family is basically trans with the inside incest. I guarantee he's done it all with everyone. That's just a guarantee. That's not defamation. It's a guarantee from what I believe.
We have to give your money back if we're wrong.
Yes. So I'm investigating that, but just let's see how he's acting. And this is somebody going, dude, you killed it. What are they gassing him? What are they saying to get him to say this?
The roast.
The roast, man. You were great at the roast.
A chance at showing what I can do.
But you were a superstar to me.
And if you only knew, I'm about to spill the beans on these mother. They don't even know. I'm about to give them the whole inside scoop about how it was supposed to be a short set. They wanted to keep me at the table. They didn't want me to make fun
Travis
of this.
Kelce
They didn't want
all
me
of
to
a
make
sudden.
fun of that. And then we said, okay.
And then you just get up there and you just
Right.
He does this.
The world. They gave me a chance. You know what I mean? They gave a hungry.
That's
wolf a
nothing.
chance.
So this is nothing compared to the behavior on Two Bears, One Cave that he did with Bert and Tom, which is a real interesting watch. But this made people mad. I mean, really, I get messages and I get tons of duplicates when I say hundreds of times. I don't get other stuff hundreds of times. This really struck a chord with people this week, and I could see why. I'm hoping Tony continues this path of thinking he's the best in the world. But before he does, I'd like to show the world his best joke from the roast that everybody crowned him king over. Okay, so I'm going to show you that. Let me open. Oops, stuff's disappearing. Okay, let me open this. The Tom Brady roast. Okay, is this queued up here? Let's see. Do we have a time? 1:54:45. Okay, yeah, I think it's queued up. Everybody remembers this moment from the roast, and they're crowning Tony victorious for this one. This is one that stuck out.
Bert Kreischer is a king. He looks like if the Tiger King and the Liver King only ate Burger King and had a liver that looked like Martin Luther King got beat up by Rodney King.
Okay. Certified. Look at Schultz. Look at Schultz kicking him in the rear.
Look at Bert.
Look at Bert. So this destroyed at the roast. So Tony's the best, isn't he? Or is he? Let's hear that one more time.
Bert Kreischer is a king. He looks like if the Tiger King and the Liver King only ate Burger King and had a liver that looked like Martin Luther King got beat up by Rodney King.
Okay. Boom! Explode! Murder! Oh! Watching Schultz. That made me want to kill myself. Look at this.
And how about the appearance?
Okay, all right. Look at Bert's face. I mean, look, Bert is left. He is so honored that joke killed and he was involved. Because he didn't kill, but like he is just honored that something killed and his face is on the screen.
Robin Tran
Look at him. He's crying. Go ahead.
Robin Tran says, 6 years ago, Tony was judging at Roast Battle and kept making jokes about one of the competitors' brothers dying. And the comedian said, losing my brother was the hardest thing I ever went through until I saw your Netflix special and the room erupted and Tony was livid.
Yes, he gets livid from this stuff. Okay, so you heard the Liver King, Rodney King, Martin Luther King, right? I have something to show you. And I ask, what is this about?
freak.
We cut to Snoop Dogg, and this is from the roast of Donald Trump. Is that right? Snoop Dogg? We should have this all in the note. Okay. Find out. Can you just read through the note and see what the info is? If it's
so apparently this clip is from the Trump roast 2011. And Tony started writing.
Wait. That's all you need to say. So this is from the Donald Trump roast in 2011, and we're watching Snoop Dogg on stage. 2011, Donald Trump roast. How many years ago is that, Jules? 2024 minus 2011. Can you do that math for me? How many?
13?
13? Okay. 13 years ago. Listen to this.
Lisa fucked Larry King, Don King, Rodney King, and Billie Jean King in the Burger King bathroom. This is an ugly business, man.
Okay. Well, what the fuck? You want to hear that again? This is awfully similar to Tony's best joke. Snoop?
Freak. Lisa fucked Larry King, Don King, Rodney King, and Billie Jean King in the Burger King bathroom. Wow. This is an ugly...
Okay, so the first time I saw that, my first instinct was, oh, Tony wrote that for Snoop Dogg back then when he was writing for these roasts, and he's reusing his old joke that he wrote for Snoop Dogg all those years ago. But then they tell me this, that Tony didn't start working for the roasts until much later. Where is that part? I'm trying to find all these.
It's just at the top in that little paragraph.
Okay, so it says Tony didn't start writing for the Comedy Central roast until 2013. So what's going on here with the duplicate joke? Well, that's the one he's being praised for. So I would like Tony to explain this to us. Maybe there's a simple explanation, but a 13-year-old joke, that's what we're all applauding? At the very minimum, it's a reused 13-year-old joke, right?
Yep.
That's what we're all applauding.
No
At the
more
very
kings.
most, did you steal it from Snoop Dogg? Did Jeff Ross write this for Snoop Dogg, and he also wrote yours, and there was a mix-up in memory? What's the story? Guys, let's get Tony to answer. Put this clip everywhere. Edit it nicely. Thank you. Make it back to back. Make it nice and easy. Okay. Very cool. So that's Tony Hinchcliffe. Would you like to see some of his stuff? I love this. From Two Bears,
Same.
One Cave. Let's get some Shmee music on, and we'll watch a little Two Bears, One Cave. This is a great one because we're going to see Bert and Tom, who really, they're going through something right now that I got to explain. We're going to see Bert and Tom take it in the ass, which is really a treat here. Tony Hinchcliffe, come on down. The Kill Tony gang, come on down. Bring that up here. I got to show you this. This is from Two Bears, and I love this episode. I think you're going to really, really love this episode. I know I saw the circuits were covering this one. I got this. Look at this. My Kill Tony merch arrived from the arena tour. So when you went to go buy the live streaming pass, what was it, $30 to see Kill Tony live streaming at the arena? I don't know why that couldn't have just been broadcast on you. I don't know why we had to pay. They're filling up an arena already. Isn't that enough money? But no, if you want to watch it, it's $30 to watch it online too. I don't know why that couldn't have just been free on YouTube. Seems a little greedy, right? I think it's greedy. One of the other greedy things they did was try to hit you on the way out, the gift shop on the way out. That's how you know these guys are real big assholes. They put you through the gift shop on the way out now. No matter what you're buying, if you're buying an album, a ticket, they're going to make you pick up some merch on the way out. They're going to go, are you sure? You want to continue without dope savings on the merch? That used to be, what did they call that? Something about the gift shop. Wasn't there a documentary about this thing? This idea where you would go to the aquarium, right? And the only way to get out is through the gift shop at the end. Remember all that horse shit? They do that at these museums
you mean
and stuff.
the Banksy movie, Exit Through the Gift Shop?
That's what I'm talking about. And that's what this means.
Which is a documentary about how they get you on the way out.
I thought that was a documentary on how they keep making us buy this stuff. Maybe that's a metaphor that some people didn't get. I picked up on. Who knows? Tony's going to get you on the way out. I had the opportunity to snag this beautiful Kill Tony t-shirt. We're going to do it on Cheap Champions, but I got the tag here. They're all using the same shirt now. So we could basically, unless there's slight differences in batches, they're all going to be kind of the same weight. So we can kind of figure out where this sits. This is, Kill Tony made a shirt. Look at the close-up, Jules. Go to that close-up there. This is just a literal map of the arena he's in, like the Ticketmaster page. Like where you buy your seats. That's what this is. I mean, so to him, like the best way to commemorate this is to remember how many tickets were sold, how many seats this bitch had. How many tickets we sold, right? That's what you guys are all into. See, Tony is confusing.
Now, if that was the Eras Tour, sold.
Tony is confusing this fanfare. Like in Tony's mind, he always confuses the popularity of Kill Tony with everybody just trying to help Tony get rich. Like he thinks all the fans of Kill Tony, their first and foremost priority is to help him get as rich as possible. Andrew Schultz thinks this as well. They get confused as to what their fans are connecting to, and they think that it's all about, come on, fans, help us reach to another new height. And let's get this. And here it is, the commemorative T-shirt showing you where you had to spend like $1,200 to get a ticket to Kill Tony. That's what you could remember with this commemorative shirt. Very thin. Won't look good on Red Band. That's why he doesn't wear this crap anymore. This won't look good on Red Band, my buddy. Tony, come on down. He's on Two Bears. Let's pull him aside. Oh, he's right here. Here he is. Tony! Two Bears. Cheers. You hear that Porosos clank.
Welcome to another episode of Two Bears, One Cave. Okay. You can see the biggest live podcast in the world.
Okay, so this is interesting right off the bat. Look how they're sitting. Oh, sitting like this on the other side of the table. What's interesting about Tony's rise to power is while Tony rises, many comedians, many of his peers who are above him now also have to do this thing where they kind of have to like publicly show everyone that they are like super cool with Tony. And Tony does this to others as well. You know, you'll see him do it with Shane Gillis. Tony goes out of his way to let audiences know, oh, me and Shane are so close. We're like really good friends. That's going to happen here. And these guys are like this too. When clout comes along, you know, what do you call these guys? Butt sniffers? What would you call them? Butt sniffers? They come out. Look at Tom. He's already taken in a drag of clout.
Oh, I just remembered Zesty Tom.
Yeah, Zesty Tom. You're going to see that today. And Bert here. Now, I got to tell you, I don't know. I didn't watch this coverage on Podcast Cringe, but I don't.
Whenever it's something we want to talk about, we don't watch the other videos because we don't want to get all what they said in your head.
Well, I doubt they're... I don't know, and maybe they did.
Hopefully we're not saying the exact same thing as them.
That's not where I was going.
That's impossible, right?
Well, that might be a thought that you would have, but not me. No, what I was going to say is what we're experiencing. I saw this video was covered. This is what I'm saying. I saw this video was covered, but I didn't watch the coverage, so I'm not sure if it's being celebrated for the moment that it is. Okay? Yes, I'm sure this was covered in this way where, hey, look, Two Bears are getting dunked on by Tony, who rules. Tony rules. He's the roast master. Look at him serving it to the Two Bears who were upset with, you know, recently. Okay? That's pretty much, I think, what the coverage is. But I don't know if they're celebrating the moment, which is Bert and Tom have a shocking realization as they watch Tony rise to power and struggle and worry and almost panic about their fall. And now, of course, you've got that. What I don't know if it's being covered is the fact that I believe these Two Bears despise Tony Hinchcliffe. Yeah? This is what the big secret is. Tony is on this show, and everyone's got to pay Tony. You know, it's time to show the world we know Tony and that we're cool with Tony. Tony's the talk of the town. Tom Segura was never into fucking Tony. He never wanted to interview fucking Tony. He never gave a shit about Tony. But now it's, oh, here's Tony. Now, here's what's interesting about this. Tony was like the leader of the roast, right? Him and Nikki Glazer. They were the big talk of the roast. This was a big deal in their industry. Right? Tom and Bert were also on that roast. And the rumor on the internet, or the talk of the town on the internet about Tom and Bert's thing on the roast they did when they did that thing in front of the screen together, was that the Two Bears bombed. Yes. So all over the internet, you're hearing Tony, he's the roast master, he's the king, he's amazing. He killed at the roast. And all over the internet, you're seeing Tom and Bert bombed at the roast. And Tom and Bert have heard those ramblings, but they probably, well, you'll see. And this is why it's special. So this is a threefer. This is almost like the when the Rickettas got arrested with April. We're getting Bert, Tom, and Tony all making a disgrace in one episode. Here they are, and look at the body language already. Got the two bears. I've never seen them like this. I've never seen them so subservient to King Tony. They're sitting on the other side of the table. Tom's really sucking it in. You're going to see Tom in one of his most zesty behavioral moments of his career. Tom Segura might be homosexual. Zesty. I never thought of him that way. I always thought Tony is the gay guy. Now it makes sense. Tony is the inbred guy. He is the Joker. As crazy and sick as the Joker is in La Jockey.
That video from Youngstown, Ohio, where that bank just blew up.
Yeah, he's from there.
He probably did that shit.
So Tony is not, again, okay, you're going to see all this disgustery. And I feel bad for Bert. Bert wants to cry today. Tom wants to punch Tony in his big fat nose. Really? And I'm here to stick up for these guys against Tony. Okay? You've never seen, but they're also getting slammed. Check this shit out.
If you go to New York City and go to Madison Square Garden on August 9th and 10th to see Kill Tony, and joining us is Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah. Okay, so before Tony, Bert and Tom were the arena guys. They were the only ones selling out arenas. Now Kill Tony's doing it. Everybody loves Tony. Everybody thinks Bert and Tom are losers now. But they've got to do it. They've got to show everybody that, oh, yeah, Tony's got Madison Square Garden. Yeah, we're so happy for him. They ain't happy. They sad. Tony can't pick up on jack shit. So Tony comes in not knowing that these guys are a little sensitive to this new position. Tony's risen. They've fallen. Tony killed at the roast. They've bombed. Tony is not tapped into any of that shit. It's just Tony, Tony, Tony. You're going to see Tony celebrate himself. Really, this is almost what, he's gotten everything that he's ever wanted. This is all he's ever wanted, is all eyes on him, everyone praising him. And it's turning him kooky. Watch this.
See, Kill Tony, and joining us is Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
That's wild.
What's up?
So Kill Tony, I remember doing it in the belly room.
Yeah.
Not even sold out, in the belly room.
And I needed you guys back.
He's grinning from ear to ear, and he's been on this tour. Every podcast he's been on since the roast is, I remember when Kill Tony started in the basement of a sewer. There was one guy and a rat, and now look at you. And it's just Tony going, yep, absolutely, just like I told everyone. That's exactly right. Went from the bottom to the... And he is eating it all up. Now, surely this is making some people's stomachs go, ooh, 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 ah, ooh, ooh, ooh. Sour. Let's see.
Back then.
No, you did.
I mean,
you did.
It was
but
a huge favor.
Also, it was kind of a fun thing because everybody had their podcasts, and it was like, if you're another comic, like, they go, hey, do we do my podcast? You go, yeah, I want to do
Look
my,
at how the
my
boys are
friend's
sitting.
podcast.
Look how
support.
they're both sitting.
I mean, I know you've probably been asked this. It can't be yes. You can't. You
know, before we even give it away, I'll almost just go as far to predict these two, before Tony was on, started talking about the hate comments and the fact that Tony killed and how they bombed. And I think they were before the show in like a 1 hour talk where they're trying to talk each other out of them bombing at the roast. Like, no, dude, I think people liked it. You know, the internet does what the internet does. And it's almost like they both kind of talked themselves out of something that was really bothering them. And they started the show with Tony. But I watched these guys. I watched a lot of these guys. I've never seen Bert and Tom look like this at the beginning of a show. They both look forlorn. Bert's eyes are even going to look really watery soon, and his tone of voice and the way Tom does it, you'll see. I think we're going to get our answer here. But I want to really examine the emotions that Tony's just running over with his lawnmower mouth. Watch this.
Could not have imagined that it would reach this thing, right?
Well, I'm nuts.
Yeah.
I'm secretly nuts.
Ooh, okay. So think about my gummo shit. Watch this. If you hated the smoking video, watch this again. Now imagine the inbred in the house I described. Listen to this.
Reach this thing, right?
Well, I'm nuts.
Yeah.
I'm secretly nuts.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
What if he's telling the truth? Our first instinct is, they're lying. What if Tony ain't lying? What if this guy is completely psycho? In a bad way, of course. Not in a cool way, guys. The Joker isn't real. But look at him. And now imagine that haunted house I was describing. I'm nuts. I don't like the way he's talking.
That it would reach this thing, right?
Well, I'm nuts.
Yeah.
I'm secretly nuts.
Yeah.
So you
Tom, see how Tom? Pay attention to Tom. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
This is Tony's coming out interview as a real celebrity.
Yes, it really is. This is Tony's
This
first,
is like
and this
his
marks a special
debut.
time. That's why I don't care who else covered it. This marks a special time. This is Tony. He's a celebrity now. He is no longer Tony Hinchcliffe, top rising comedian.
He's risen.
He's risen, and he's risen to power. I got a shout out in the comments of this video. The Two Bears, a Two Bears fan, or maybe a hater, says shout outs to Tony for buying that luxury UPS designer UPS outfit. Damn, he rich. And then, look at it. Doesn't that look like a luxury version of a UPS shirt, kind of?
Yeah, it's Kith.
It's Kith. Another brand you got to stay away from now.
Yeah.
Disgusting Kith. There's no good guy who wears Kith. Trust me. Okay, watch this.
Yeah, I did, but
You
I
did?
just didn't think it would be this soon. When the pandemic happened and all you guys and everybody and Schultz and Joe and everyone got to keep doing their podcast in a
right.
sanctuary
Wait, did you just go on pause then?
No, we did the worst thing ever, but the people loved it, which was we complained about not being able to survive in a studio like this.
He's talking about the lockdown. So, of course, this was the only podcast that couldn't thrive during the lockdown. Redbar did great. We loved that lockdown. And you know what? I revised my stance on this. I hope there is another lockdown. And I hope that it's based on a lie. Hear me out. Hear me out. I hope there's another lockdown where most people can't work besides podcasters. I know that's selfish. I'm so sorry.
And
I'll
of
help you.
course, all of your guys'
And of course, your guys'
allowed
jobs. Okay,
too.
let's pretend a world where it fucks over all live touring comedians. Okay. How about this? Just a lockdown where they can no longer do live comedy shows because the laughing is spreading the germ. Okay. You could do concerts, but no live comedy. How about that? That can't affect any of your jobs. If it is, I'll give you a loan for the time being. Can't be more than 1 or 2 people, and the loan will be for a very small amount of money. But let's pretend I want there to be another lockdown that stops live comedy, but I want it to be based on a lie. So hear me out on this. I don't want there to really be a disease killing people because I just want to profit from the lockdown. You understand? Not like get free money from the government, but all these guys get shut down but we don't get shut down and no one has anything to do but listen to the podcasts. So, but I don't want there to be a disease. So I almost want it to be a hoax disease, real lockdown, hoax disease so that no one gets hurt. Because if, you want the disease to be a hoax, would be great.
Ideal. Then it's not
then
real.
no grandparents go bye-bye. No Michael Yo passed away. So, that's what I want. I want there to be a severe lockdown for about 2 years. I want all my stores open somehow, all my restaurants open. And I'd like to see
They're calling you Mike Fauci. Can someone stick up for this poor Fauci already? He's out there crying.
Am I the only one who is not only not mad at Fauci, but a Fauci fan? I don't know if that's good.
I mean, he's nice.
I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about Governor Fauci. I really don't. But I like that
everybody's hate for
everybody's.
him is certainly making me want to like him. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, it is funny. Like, imagine if there's a guy who's like into Fauci.
To me, that kind of lib that like trusts Fauci, like the kind of person who'd be like a Hillary Clinton fan.
Yeah.
That's like to me, that's the funniest type of guy to
Those
be.
are like the people that Joe Rogan is complaining about every day. It's
They
like,
barely even exist.
I'd kill to see where these people live now. They all stop. Like Kumail Nanjiani doesn't even do that. Like none of them dare to bring up anything anymore. But Joe talks about it as if we're like the Battle of Berkeley is happening, like the PC, Antifa, or all that. I
mean,
wish.
Maybe I'm in a bubble, but the only type of guy I see out is like a crazy
Black
right-winger
Rifle
guy.
Coffee Dad. This is what I call these guys now.
Or like a right-wing and non-Twitter guy. Or like a super leftist
Palestinian
so
type
like,
guy.
why don't we just become guys who like Fauci?
I mean, there's a market for it. Nobody is willing. I don't think there's anybody on record saying they like Fauci, so it's funny. Okay, let's go back to Tony here. You're going to see some really impressive behaviors on display here today. Behaviors that could lead to his downfall. I could see it coming. You could smell it in the air. And what's even worse is I believe his peers are starting to hate him, like Tom and Bert. I'm willing to try to prove that today. But I also have rumors that have been sent to me by credible sources that everybody hates Tony now. Let me show you. Can we pull up that one Tim Heidecker clip?
Oh, yeah.
I want to play that really quick. But I've been getting rumors all the time. Mike, hi, I work at so-and-so, and everybody who works here, all the servers hate Tony's guts. Mike, all the comics hate Tony's guts. He's only got this small inner circle of ass kissers, but everyone is so sick of Tony. Like, really? These are the rumors coming through. I find it cool when all the comedians start hating one of their own. And I feel like they're developing a hatred towards Tony, and only like Joe Rogan and a few of the other rich are, out there not really picking up on this change here. Okay, do we have that?
Oh, it's a next up.
Great. This is, I think we're mentioned in this too. Let's see this. I thought this was funny. Oh, yes, this is an Instagram Live with the On Cinema crowd.
DJ Doug Pound.
This is office hours. Let's see what happens here.
Has anyone else been watching these? We might have brought it up on the show before, but these YouTube shows that are just like documentaries talking about comedy podcasts and like talking about how everyone's having their downfall and like everyone.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, that's like very that's very red bar.
It's red bar style, but these other guys do it like they're just talking about people.
Like it's a serious thing. Yeah.
Yeah, there's.
I was talking to.
Don't be sad, guys.
This was the
Don't be
subject
sad
of
at all.
some conversation last night. This Tony Hinchcliffe. I think everybody I talked to.
This is a video of Tim Heidecker caught. They think there's somebody under giving him a blowjob. They say he's on crack. This happened to like a lot of different groups of people over the last 12 days too. Okay, wait. Let's see what they're saying here. Listen to this.
Was the subject of some conversation last night. This Tony Hinchcliffe. I think everybody I talked to, I got a wide sampling. Everybody agrees this guy's no good. This guy's a rotten egg.
Woo! Isn't that fun to hear? Now, of course, the sampling could be all leftist homos of the sort, but no, he says it's a nice sampling. I believe him when he said it's a nice. He's probably going to Fred Armisen. I always try a little Will Ferrell. What do you think? Will Ferrell's in full character, responding to him probably. So I think that's nice to hear. And by the way, I'm getting rumors from comedy clubs. I'm getting rumors from waitresses. Really, I've got them all. I've got them all documented here. Listen to that.
this Tony Hinchcliffe. I think everybody I talk to, I got a wide sampling. Everybody agrees this guy's no good. This guy's a rotten egg.
Yes.
Bad news. Everybody's like, oh my God, we hate this fucking shit.
But someone
bad
likes
news.
He's like the biggest.
Oh God, it's the most popular thing in the world.
Hell.
I mean, but look at
Why
that.
can't I be on this chat with you guys? I'll cheer you right up. You can be saying all this stuff with the biggest smile of your lives.
I know, I want to like tickle them.
Instead, you get caught up thinking that something bad's happening. This is great. You want these fools to flourish. Trust me, it's better for the world in the end.
You know, look at that's what Andrew Dice Clay was the most popular thing in the world too. And then look at what happened to him. He's doing
You hear that, Tony?
weird selfies on the street now.
I do, in a bizarre way, though. I do like his records. They're so...
Well, that's different because, of course, he was very much doing a character and stuff.
Right.
But
Guys,
I'm
don't
just
worry
saying, like,
so
the
much.
popularity of
Worry.
this, like, Tony Hinchcliffe and all this, the Rogan comedy scene feels like maybe there is a peak to it. There's got to be a peak to it. At some
Yeah,
point.
they can't hold on too much.
We're all in the same boat here, guys.
Want to take another call?
Wow.
Right
Look how-
after that clip, Tim shut the light out and went,
Yeah, they say
and
he
went
killed
right to
himself. He
sleep.
killed himself after this. Fuck, look at the pain.
Tony,
over
why
this.
are you doing this to him?
Because, guys like this who really cared about comedy, they're watching comedy be kind of, hijacked here a little bit. And I think it hurts people watching everybody think they're watching comedy when their time's really being wasted by hacks. Maybe. Or it's just utter lib jealousy. Maybe that too. I've got just utter lib jealousy running through my veins. Here's Tony. Let's see this. We're going to show you. Should I cut ahead here? Or should I keep playing from this part?
Just see what he's saying. It depends what you want to hear.
Okay, we'll do a little bit more, and then I got to show you Zesty Segura. I always knew Tom Segura was a little weird when I saw that he speaks Mexican. That's weird. Whenever there's a white guy and he knows Spanish really well, but he looks fully white and has no accent, that's a guy who's up to a little gay Miami, Cuba activity. That's what I think of people who speak Spanish when they're ultimately white, And Tom does this. He does Spanish shows. There's a little zest within that, huh? And you're going to see he's starting to appear more zesty. I think he's wearing lip gloss now. I think he does wear a little pop for his lips throughout the day. And the way he dresses is also like one of those gay guys who kills themselves after their work finds out they're gay later in their life, right? Watch this. And then watch this first, and then I'll show you the gay guy.
Send in 60-second sets via file, and then we would Zoom with them to interview them afterwards. But
it was a way to make it happen.
It was crazy. So it was kind of like everybody got to see how much we were struggling and apply that to their own struggles.
Okay, so again, Tony's on this bragging streak. And Tom and Bird, who I think are a little upset and a little worried about, their careers right now. You could see it in their eyes here. You really could see it in Bert. His eyes almost get more sad as he learns of Tony's successes and watch how happy Tony is about his success. Meanwhile, all he could think about is how he bombed on that roast in front of every celeb. How he bombed, how him and Tom, the only thing they wanted was to be the cool guys with all the sports guys and celebs, right? Poor Osas, we're drinking till noon. So now they're kind of the laughingstock of the Tom Brady sports roast that every celeb saw. Kanye West watched it. And they're now kind of being, it's hitting them in real time. Like, oh, this wasn't just the internet thinking we bombed. Like, Tony kind of thinks we bombed too. And he's kind of going to confirm that here. And as they watch Tony rant about his positivities, their eyes well up.
Fuck.
I mean,
What's the big mystery?
and they're
you're
doing
trying
this
to figure
whole
out,
thing where they're
Baldo?
like faking it through, but really these guys need to take a break and like go cry. Like they shouldn't be, but they're both having to like be like, well, yeah, Tony, you are the man. We are We can never do what you do, of course. But they look at themselves as much stronger comics, I'm sure. So this is really hurting them. Let's see.
Worst thing
You're
ever.
gonna love
But
it.
the people loved it, which was we complained about not being able to survive in a studio like this while people would send in 60-second sets via file, and then we would Zoom with them to interview them afterwards.
But it was a
Probably
way to
skip
make
ahead.
it happen.
Okay, so let's show you Zesty.
628. Now this is right as Zesty Tom starts, so be ready.
Check out Tom. Let's keep an eye on Tom and see how zesty he could get. I got this word zesty. I think it's a common Zoomer descriptor for people that are gay. I learned about it from FouseyTube. FouseyTube, who is gay, I believe, does a character called Zesty Foos, where he pretends he's a gay guy. He does a very good job pretending he's gay, by the way. So that's where I learned of it from. Oh,
The video where he gets pulled over by the cops.
There's that moth.
Specifically. I know it's
There's
been
that
flying
moth.
behind you the
Is
whole
every
time.
girl deathly afraid of these moths? They love butterflies. They hate moths.
I don't really like butterflies that much either.
They like white people. They hate natives. They do. Every Canadian hates those natives like poison. They secretly do.
Oh,
Okay.
he went on the drum kit.
That's okay. Let them live. Let them live. Get them out of my sight line, though. Okay. Yeah, moths everywhere. We don't know what happened here. There's about 100 moths. It's kind of like this episode of Dark Matter where one of the worlds got infected with giant bees.
Oh,
right?
there he was.
You got to just ignore it, Jules.
I
It's not going to
know.
hurt you. It's a cute
Also,
moth.
there's a ton of bats around. Just wanted to say that. Not
A lot of
inside.
bats. Yeah, the whole inside is filled with bats. Okay, watch this. Watch Tom.
Chip.
How much more intimidating is it for these newbies to do?
Okay, Tom has gone. Now you'll see this. He's gone full Kurt Metzger at the very least. Watch this. Watch Tom. I'm going to zoom in.
You want to steer the ship.
How much more intimidating is it for these newbies to do an
It's
arena set?
impossible.
Look at that. I mean, that is full Metzger. He's either doing Metzger. Let me get one of these Metzgers.
Why?
When he does, there's this one face he makes. Let's see if I could catch it. He's like widening his eyes. This is how I know Tom is faking this conversation. Yeah. What is he doing? So he's got this limp wrist. He's wearing this zesty old shirt. And he's looking like an adult homosexual male. Like one of the older gay guys. Watch this. Oh, this
Joke or whatever.
That lets you come up
or
with
wherever
more.
you want to steer the ship.
How much more
Look at him.
intimidating is it for these newbies to do an
It's
arena set?
impossible.
in a arena set. That way he does that.
Why did he?
I'm going to try to zoom in on that one because that's really, let's see.
Ship.
How much more intimidating is it for these newbies to do an
It's
arena
impossible.
And then
But
he's
you
got
gotta
the
see
arm.
the hand
Yeah, of
that
course.
goes
That's why
with-
it's hard to frame that. Well, I guess people could see. Here, let me get him framed. This is important to me.
Me too.
Okay.
How much more intimidating is it for these newbies to do an
It's
arena set?
impossible.
I'm not one to like do a limp wrist thing. Like to me, that doesn't bother me if someone accidentally falls limp. But there's something more going on here.
No, it's in the lips. It's
It's
in
in the
eyes.
lips. He's fucking zesty. He's got a thing for guys. That's why he created this poor Osos. He's like that writer from Baby Reindeer.
Yes.
You're going to do something to somebody. And I bet that's his biggest secret. I bet you Tom Segura is a secret. He goes to like those business trips where he like gets a twink at the hotel room at the very nice hotel, right? And he's got all his methods. He's got like a box of toys that he uses and rules for the escort, the male escort. Believe me, it's got to be happening,
Do
right?
you find this intimidating?
Ooh, okay, let's see.
How much more intimidating is it for these newbies to
There's
do
something
an
more-
arena set?
Impossible. Everybody out
And
of the
the
bucket
neck
is bombed
movement.
on
It's
these.
The
like
neck
the
movement,
neck
it's also
plus
that-
the eyebrow.
In that
lift.
shirt with the fucking titties, that's V-neck you're wearing. Shame on you with this V-neck. I'd like to pull that down all the way to your fucking stomach. How dare you? You're wearing a thin little furry little V-neck shirt. What is it, pebbled black? It's got a little pebble. If you look at it, it's not just jet black, it's pebbled, right? Massimo.
Remind
Very
you
cool.
of-
I'll rip that fucking V. Really, I'm getting sick of him. I'm not getting sick of Bert. I feel bad. Somebody should help Bert.
I know.
We could help you in 3, 2, 1. You wouldn't need therapy ever again. 1 hour conversation with me. And I could help you out of all this sadness. Look at him. The butt of everyone's joke.
Did you know that we have a giant poster of The Machine in the other room?
We do.
And every time I walk by,
An original print.
I'm like, good for you, man.
The Machine,
Look
we
at
got an
you.
original print. It's a double-sided movie poster meant for the glass. You know, you got a print on both sides. As high quality as it gets. It was The Machine. I paid about $140 for that first run print. I collect all their stuff for my records. Okay.
And that one's actually hanging up.
So he's zesty here.
It takes a lot
Newbies
of
to
gut.
do an
It's
arena
impossible. Everybody out of the bucket has bombed on these things.
set. Have to be. It's
is.
terrifying. First time I did an arena, I was
Yeah.
8 years in. I was opening for Russell Peters.
Yeah.
And he flew me over to London. First he did a warm
You
up.
gotta make sure. And believe me, I know that seems too easy. He is bringing up his arena tours to make sure everybody remembers. All right, what's our next code here?
You can go to 828.
Ooh, 0828.
Or there's this one part that I go to 0706, actually. This is almost interesting because Tony is feeling so euphoric about his rise that he almost starts humbling in a way.
Really?
Okay, watch this
Okay,
part.
let's see. So keep an eye on Tony here.
Hold 1 minute there.
We have learned that 100% of people out of the bucket bomb.
So how do you deal with that?
So what I've been doing lately, and it's great that we've had these practice runs before going to MSG, is I stock the lineup.
By the way, you're calling the forum a practice run.
Yeah.
It is weird. God damn it. Sometimes I don't know how fucking cringy and ridiculous I sound. I hope it's translatable.
But it's
to
the truth.
people.
It is not. It's translatable to what we're talking about. Yes.
But that's almost like an MDMA level
Yes, that's what I
self-awareness
mean.
that he's only feeling
Well-
because the euphoria of his rise
Sure.
is coming
Well,
out
I'll
of
tell
every
you this,
pore.
and I'll tell you a big secret amongst the comedy community that they're all into now. Vyvanse. No joke. Almost every comedian you know is openly talking about how they're taking Vyvanse now. Who did I just see? The guy from Impractical Jokers, too. He was on Rogan. He goes, yeah, sorry if I'm weird today. I just started taking Vyvanse, and I'm not quite acclimated to it yet. And it's like, dude, you're just taking down Vyvanse and hoping for the best, not knowing anything about this type of shit. That could get some guys acting romantic as fuck on themselves. So Tony might be doing that dance of the Vance. Again, I don't believe broadcasters should be on Adderall or Vyvanse. I believe the talk you're getting out of somebody who's on Adderall or Vyvanse, that's a private conversation. It's not a conversation that is thought through. It's not the top reality conversation. It's something different. And that's why I've always been against Adderall or Vyvanse use on these shows, unless it's for experimental purposes. The guy lets you know what he's on. Then it's funny. Okay? And that does not mean I am against people using these things. I'm against people taking Vyvanse and coming on as if they've figured out the world's secrets, not realizing they're dancing with cocaine or something.
They took
MDMA.
a ride with the
I mean,
devil.
Vyvanse is very similar to MDMA. A regular dose of Vyvanse is similar to a low dose of MDMA. And a high dose of Vyvanse is better than MDMA. Lasts longer, less sick feeling, more flustered and confused throughout the day. I mean, go take the Vyvanse and then go out into a different shopping center that you've ever been to. Dude, this is what you're going to remember out of it. Like this. It's going to be a blur. And that's how these people are living life now. They're just taking these and they're like, oh, I got podcasts to do now. They're not even, like Sal said from Impractical Jokers, they're not being acclimated to the drug, you see. They just take it and now they're on the podcast the next day and now they don't even know that they're experiencing this deep euphoria.
But I think that Tony is so high on his own supply that it's simulating Vyvanse.
It could be, but he also could be on it, which is, it's equally bad. Let's see.
7,500 people in Birmingham.
Yeah.
And then we go to do the O2. And I'm like, so I'm I'm 8 years into stand-up. Terrified. And that's with like a set that I know I'm doing.
Right.
I can't imagine doing a cold 1 minute there.
We have learned that 100% of people out of the bucket bomb.
So how do you deal with that?
So what I've been doing lately, and it's great that we've had these practice runs before going to MSG, is I stock the lineup.
By the way, you're calling the forum a practice run.
Yeah.
It is weird. God damn it. Sometimes I don't know how fucking cringy and ridiculous I sound. I hope it hits.
Ooh, when he does that I sound and squints, look at the squint here. I resent this squint. He almost got away with this if it weren't for this squint and this teeth showing. This is what you do. This is the equivalent of like an Asian movie star going, thank you. It's an honor. It's an honor to be a movie star. Thank you. This is some Hollywood-ass bullshit type of winking and teeth showing.
I've never seen him act like this before.
No.
That's why this part
Watch
stuck out
the
to me.
winking and teeth showing. Watch this.
Ridiculous I sound. I hope it hits. Sometimes I don't know how fucking cringy and ridiculous I sound. I hope it hits.
Ooh, you see how quickly that went by? But it's a squint of the eye, show of the teeth. Squint of the eye, show of the teeth. Squint of the eye, show of the teeth. It's like bite of the wing, drag of the smoke there. Squint of the eye, show of the teeth is something a half Asian woman does who's a liar. Right? Are you with me, the alt-right? My Black Rifle coffee dads. That's a new form of right-wing guy that's everywhere now, is these Black Rifle coffee dads. They're like 40 to 50. They all kind of dress like Bert Kreischer, kind of, but with darker tees. A lot of them do wear Black Rifle coffee tees. And they walk around like the suburbs, and they like help their neighbor out with some bullshit in the garage, right? Black Rifle coffee dads, they're everywhere. Are they good or are they bad? I think they're pretty nice guys. You know what they love doing? Firing up the Blackstone and making, slider tacos for the neighborhood. That's what these Black Rifle coffee do. And what's wrong with that? They say. I didn't say anything was wrong with it. Are you doing something wrong? All I see is conservative dads just having block party after block party, barbecue after barbecue, boat activity after boat activity. And I follow them now. I let them take the lead as far as the culture war. Black Rifle coffee dads are in control. And their kids are really cute. And yeah, their clothes aren't the most expensive for the kid. Who cares? Not me. This is Tony. He is a celebrity now. I hope that wasn't you. Oh, really? Okay. Let's see.
To Bert and Tom, who you find to be lower than you.
What's that?
To Bert and Tom, who you find to be lower than you. Like
Yeah.
that smirk you would only do to someone who's lower than you.
You wouldn't do this to Rogan. Right? He wouldn't act like that with Rogan. Now, remember, he's from the Ooga Booga Appalachian Trail. You're telling me this isn't an inbred? And this is the best he's looked. This is him with TRT. This is him with all Joe Rogan's doctors, showing him up every time he gets hit. This is him at his best. Imagine what he would have looked like if he would have just let his white trash fly. Like, he probably has hair surgeries. He's got all sorts of fixer-uppers here, keeping him together like this. I think he got his ears pinned back a little bit, got them shaven down. So imagine this little goober. And now that you know where he's from, Gummo. That's really starting. And when you see the shade of his teeth, now you kind of understand. And that's, again, this is with a top dentist fixing him up. Imagine what this shit would look like if he didn't have Invisident every day with his riches.
It's so stupid to have a hat where the hat should go on the head, not on
Yeah,
head.
do you see this set to decoration? These two hats. And they've got a hat. I would be so humiliated. Because people would be like, Mike, why were you wearing your hat behind your head? I was watching you on Two Bears, One Cave. Were you wearing a hat behind? That's crazy. No, that's not my hat. It was on the wall. Okay. You don't have to be embarrassed about how stupidly you wear your hat behind your head. So that's why I can't go on another podcast. I'd be mortified. I would need Final Cut. My own lighting. I'd be like Kim Kardashian. I'd bring in a whole crew.
I can't even go on my own podcast.
I basically have my own set wall in separate space if I was a guest on someone's show. And I'd have like 8 continuity people. This is all to hide my image. Okay, here, look.
But it's the truth is like MSG's the shit. I mean, I'm probably never gonna do MSG, but the forum for me was like that's because I live in LA still.
Oh, totally.
But
I'll tell you, is it your guys' is all your dream at home to fill an arena? Is that your number one dream? These guys act like this is all of our dream, to fill an arena and perform for a basketball arena. No, thank you. I don't even like being recognized by one guy at the game. I go like this. When they put me on the Jumbotron, I sue the stadium. Get those tapes back to me. I don't know of anybody who wants to be on stage in front of an arena. That seems like everybody's worst nightmare. They're talking about it as if every kid at home would kill to do MSG. I don't even want to go to MSG. You seen the neighborhood that's in New York? Where is MSG? Is that by that? Isn't that weird when you remember? If you're not from New York City, but you've been there a bunch, there's these, it's like a video game map. You remember some places and they were way behind where you thought they'd be. Creepy city, huh? Very spooky. I'm scared of New York. I won't go there.
I mean, I think you did the forum twice. So like, yeah. I mean, so
yeah.
It's like, it is a practice run.
And the roast. And I did the Staples Center with Gillis and Schultz.
How was that?
This isn't your parents. They're not here to like congratulate you. This is Tom and Bert who like are disgusted that somebody else can do what they've been doing. They thought that's what set them apart. Now you're not only doing the arenas, you're doing bigger arenas than them, and you're also crushing while they're bombing. Uh-oh. They don't want to hear all this stuff, Tony.
Yeah.
It's like it is a practice run.
And the roast. And I did the Staples Center with Gillis and Schultz.
How was that?
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
look at this. I did the Staples Center with Gillis and Schultz. How was it?
Center with Gillis and Schultz.
How was that?
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, like, with Schultz, Gillis, Post Malone, and Derek Poston, who's my fucking homie, who I originally hooked up with Schultz. Schultz a few years ago was like, hey, you gotta know.
Are you telling this to your aunt who doesn't believe you've made it yet? Like, what? These guys are your competitors, by the way. They don't want to hear this shit. They're sitting there holding back tears, trying to look like they're okay with all this.
Opener I could use for San Antonio.
You're a black guy. I need a black guy.
Well, that's how I translated it. He said an opener that I could use in San Antonio. I'm like, who's my? Oh, boom! It was like immediate.
Yeah.
Because I knew David Lucas was kind of more independent. I don't know how to describe it. Like he's more like an independent creature.
Yeah.
But Derek is just such.
By the way, I forgot where I heard this. I wish I would have time coded this. Joe Rogan's talking about how the green room at the mothership is so great, and we always come up with tags for each other.
It was on the Red Man episode.
Yeah, he goes, we're always making each other such better comedians. We're always writing tags for each other and writing jokes for each other, which, by the way, to me should be illegal. That's like Drake and his ghostwriters. But then Joe says this. He goes, we basically rewrote David Lucas's whole act, and then they all die laughing. So David Lucas is going on tour, and they're all bragging about how he's killing. Joe's sitting here admitting that him and Tony and everyone in the green room basically wrote his whole act for him. And it's the only reason that he's out there doing this stuff. Just because they want to be able to say, look what we've created out of a mothership. Can you believe it? You know, because Joe's dead set on proving everybody wrong who doubted this Austin thing. So they're writing the jokes for each other so that they can't fail. I don't know how I feel about that. How do you feel about it?
I got distracted because Chula and the moth are becoming friends.
Are they having an interaction? The dog and this moth that
he
got
never notices a bug, and he just went at the moth. It was very cute.
That is very cute. And I'm a huge sucker for these dog videos now. Not cat videos, monkey videos. Did you know you could buy one of these monkeys for like $400? I might get a dozen or so monkeys. For $400, you could get the monkey that looks like Aaron Berg, like this little. It runs around. It could learn how to help you. It could be your, and they live. I looked all this up. These monkeys that I'm talking about, they're anywhere from $400 to $19,000 a pop. But I saw plenty of sites where you could buy a monkey today. No questions asked. $400. I don't know if they ship it to you. Good God. No, Lord knows what my life would have been like if I had all those monkeys around. Okay. Are we skipping ahead here?
No, keep playing from this part.
Okay, listen to this.
A fun hang and
There's
so
a great
funny, and
fucking
he's
hang.
a rising stock like crazy. I work with him 4 nights a week at the mothership. He brings me up there regularly. So to get to do the Staples Center with Derek cold opening, who opens almost all the shows at the mothership. I mean, he's being built like fucking Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And so for it to go him, me, Gillis, who is literally my favorite fucking drinking buddy. Him and I were just at Texas Stadium doing this fucking Texas Longhorn fundraising thing for billionaires.
Okay, this whole sentence, illegal in my book.
Like what?
So Shane is the big rising star of comedy now. So all of a sudden, Tony loves Shane. Would you still love Shane this much if he was just on Legion of Skanks and that was like his highest accolade? Or do you love him because he's the biggest and the best?
And he starts the sentence making you think that he's going to be like Shane, who is absolutely the best comic right
but
now.
no, listen. It's about Tony, so listen to this.
Who opens almost all the shows at the mothership. I mean, he's being built like fucking Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And so for it to go him, me, Gillis, who is literally my favorite fucking drinking buddy. Him and I were just at Texas Stadium.
Who cares?
Doing this fucking Texas
we
Longhorn
assume you guys are around each other all the time. But listen to this.
fundraising thing for billionaires the other day, and we had the best time. I don't think people realize, like, me and Shane, like, hang.
Yeah.
And I'm whiskey cokes and he's beers.
Can you believe what we're hearing on Redbar? I don't know if people know about this, but me and Shane hang.
Like hang.
Like I drink whiskey, he drinks beers. Do you need me to repeat myself? Listen to this.
Like hang. We had the best time. I don't think people realize, like, me and Shane, like, hang.
Yeah.
And I'm whiskey cokes and he's beers. So by the time he hits...
See, Tom hates this. Tom's going, yeah. But Tom's putting himself through this. This is like being cucked by the Raquetas. Very similar.
Hang.
Yeah.
And I'm whiskey cokes and he's beers. So by the time he hits, you know, his 15 Bud Lights where he starts showing some sign of intoxication.
Smacking your dick.
Yeah, exactly. I'm 7 whiskey and cokes in and we're having the time of our lives, man. We went up at Texas Stadium and smoked a fucking blunt.
We're having the time of our lives, man. I mean, really. This isn't information that people want to hear. There was incest in your family? Is that what you're telling me here? You're the product of fucking hillbilly incest? That's fucking sick. I don't take my roast jokes from someone like that.
We're having the time of our lives, man. We went up at Texas Stadium and smoked a fucking blunt by ourselves.
Whoa!
Like, just him.
Imagine if I fucking said that. We smoked a blunt by ourselves. We weren't just acquaintances that night.
No parents.
We're very good friends. He's the top. And are you going to be very good friends with him when he starts sliding down? Look at this little asshole. Joke World, may I ask you once again, how could you not see through this? You're so sharp. Joke World, you can't tell what this is. This is not, shouldn't be what you're watching. Poor Joke World and all those boys watching this. Those 24-year-old kids. They should have been playing sports, but they got sidetracked with this. A lot of those kids quit baseball. Those Joke World type kids. They quit baseball. They quit sports to watch comedy. They threw their pitching careers away. Disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. I'm 7 whiskey and cokes in, and we're having the time of our lives, man. We went up at Texas Stadium and smoked a fucking blunt by ourselves, like just him, me, him, and Lemaire and his little crew, and fucking. We're just having the best time here in Austin. So it's funny because it like translates. Derek moved. He's a Comedy Store guy. Moved to Austin. One of the first guys to move here. Derek, then me, then Gillis, then Schultz.
Killers.
Who blew my mind.
Murderers.
Watching his stand up, like he's
crazy.
talking about his
He's
actual
even better than
life
me.
and having his first kid,
Look
and
at
it's
this.
so much smarter and It made me feel like a kind of a hack because I'm up there talking about.
Listen to this. This is interesting. Gillis he's talking about his family and his life.
Schultz is who he's talking about
Schultz,
right now.
yeah. Listen, this is how he's talking about Andrew Schultz, even worse. And Tony is sitting there talking about how he feels inferior. And then listen to what Tony tells us, because none of us have seen Tony's stand-up. He refuses to do a special.
Secret.
We saw his stand-up special One Shot that was removed. It was one of the only specials that Netflix removed. They said, get this out of here. Tony tried to hide that from the internet. He got every copy and mention taken down. That was the last time he attempted a special, and it was terrible. A lot of people tell me his stand-up's real bad. He doesn't want anyone filming it. You know, he's the main guy behind this no camera rule. You know, he doesn't want people seeing how bad his stand-up is. And I get reports all the time, Mike, this guy's stand-up, it's like so weak. Wait till you hear what it's about. He's going to say while he praises Andrew Schultz.
So it's funny because it like translates. Derek moved. He's a Comedy Store guy, moved to Austin, one of the first guys to move here. Derek, then me, then Gillis, then Schultz, who blew my mind watching his stand-up. Like, he's talking about his actual life and having his first kid, and it's so much smarter and it made me feel like a kind of a hack because I'm up there talking about trans school shooters and fucking did the sub that went down to the Titanic and all this.
He's up there. This is recent. His stand-up comedy includes a chunk about the sub. Oh. Remember the sub? Let's tell the story again. He's telling the sub Titanic story in his comedy set. He's talking about trans school shooters. God knows how long that headline's from. And he's jealous of Andrew Schultz, who's talking about his life. While you're up there, you should be jealous of somebody. If you're talking about the sub, yeah, you should feel horrible. So Rogan is letting him go up at that mothership every fucking night and talk about the sub for years on end. I mean, and I'm sure he came up with the bit week one of the sub, right? Not like you come out with a sub bit now. He came out with the sub bit when the sub thing happened, and it was just so killer. He's been doing it for 2 years. When did the sub happen? 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Listen to this shit.
His first kid, and it's so much smarter, and it made me feel like a kind of a hack because I'm up there talking about trans school shooters and fucking did the sub that went down to the.
See, Bert knows that Tony sucks at stand-up. So to see him having all this success while Bert tries the hardest he's ever tried, and to see everyone turn on Bert and celebrate Tony for this hack that he knows in his heart is not good. Look at this. You know, too, that's a laugh of pain from Zesty over here. That's a laugh of pain. And why do people keep saying you're no thinner than Ricky Gervais, who is not a thin man? Everyone's going to stop calling Tom thin. Yeah, maybe you're thinner compared to Patrick Melton. Congratulations. You look like Ricky Gervais. You're the same size as Bert Kreischer, as big as a balloon. You guys are the equal width. Enough. He's not thin.
Sorry, the Titanic and all this fucking. I'm like reaching for anything in the world that I find dark and funny. And he's up there talking about his actual life, killing, and I'm cracking up to where like, holy shit.
That's awesome.
It's hard for me to laugh at comedians talking about raising a kid.
Listen to this. He does this in front of Bert and Tom. It's hard for me to laugh at comedians talking about raising a kid or any of that crap. Tom and Bert are like, oh, yeah. That's their whole act. Listen to this asshole go on in front of two heartbroken old school comics.
Holy shit.
That's awesome.
It's hard for me to laugh at comedians talking about raising a kid and this and that and what about the wife and da-da-da-da.
But it's a really good.
And then he brought up Post Malone. And the whole time you're
what
looking
did
at
Post talk about?
Oh, the crowd went ballistic and he fucking smashed. And then we brought up his dad, who it was his birthday.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome!
And
that would have been so cool.
Off on him, and it was just so much fun, man. Like what
Bert, he's really going through it here. And I hope Podcast Cringe saw that.
Got a few roast jokes off on him.
Look at him. He's literally about to start fucking crying. Look how he rubs his face.
It was just so much fun, man. And like, what a trip to LA to get to start there, go through the pandemic there, the riots
go
there.
back and have that kind of week.
And go back and have that kind of week. I mean,
absolutely.
You couldn't have written it, especially getting it started with the roast, which I was a very late addition to.
UFC 302.
Oh, you even had to do the ads? This is after the show. They had to record the ads. They're fucking busted. Look at that. Heartbroken. I want
to go to 16 minutes.
16:00. Here we go. Okay, what do we got here? 16. Okay, so here we go. He's going to start shitting on Tom and Bert now. He's going to start, their wildest nightmare, the stuff that they just thought was the internet. It's coming to reality here, as even Tony, one of their peers who killed on the roast, is now confirming publicly to their faces. You're going to see a lot of this come.
No, you name it, like fucking Joan Rivers roast Kim Kardashian on The View or something like that. When we would see the word roast, we'd be like, "Hey, that's fucking cool."
Yeah, yeah.
People are using that word. Like it was such a old art form.
Did you ever see Jeff? I don't want to interrupt. I want you to keep talking about this going forward with this. But did you ever see Jeff?
Did you ever see
Jeff?
Don't want to interrupt?
I don't know.
No, go
whatever. Yeah.
Whoa, Mr. Big Shot. How dare you be interrupted about your life's successes to hear something Bert would like to say? See, he didn't have this position a few weeks ago.
No.
These guys were his superiors before. These were the rich, successful comments that he kissed their asses. Now Tony believes he's higher than them. Now he could talk to them like this.
Jeff, did you ever see
You
Jeff?
don't want to interrupt?
I don't know.
No, go. Seems like you kind of do, dude.
I've been really good this fucking conversation. You're my partner. I've been really good.
You're my partner.
I can't imagine how many times you've wanted to interrupt if you think you've been really good.
He didn't interrupt. And plus he didn't.
It's his show. And look at Tom. Look at Tom's body language here. They hate Tony's guts. Watch this. Look how they both react. Usually Bert would think that was really funny if someone's clowning on Bert, but now he's almost protective. Him and Bert are like one thing now, ever since that Netflix bomb. So they've like got each other's backs and they're fighting as one now. Watch this. Watch Tom.
Interrupt if you think you've been really good.
Look at Tom.
Damn, your crew is...
Whoa, I mean, can you not see that? Am I crazy? Look at them again. Yeah, they're laughing. Look at Tom.
Damn, your crew is cracking up right now. You must interrupt a lot, huh?
You were saying?
No, go ahead. You already interrupted. You might as well follow through now.
Nope.
Go ahead. Come on. You already did it.
You said,
Technically, you already interrupted.
It.
Finish it.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a bad interruption.
Yeah. It was Jeff. Did you ever see Jeff Ross when he roasted B. Arthur? Is this?
Okay, now go to
this little fucking guy. You are so gross. You're like a pee-pee.
Oh, and
it's like looking at a penis now. This should be, you got to cover that up in public. Sorry, you got the fucking penis body and head. Go on.
I couldn't stop saying why Tom had purple.
Yeah, you can barely see it here, but Tom's head is actually a shade of purple here, something with the lighting.
He has a purple triangle drawn around his ear.
That's true.
Is anyone else seeing this?
Is this the purple triangle?
Honestly.
Yeah, there is some sort of purple triangle.
To me, that's right all here. I can see.
Yeah,
when he turns his head that way.
All right, what's our next code here?
2128.
Okay, what's going to happen here? Let's see, 2128. Okay, so here, this is where it comes true. Like I said, they're thinking maybe it's just a bunch of assholes on the internet saying we bombed at that roast, but here's Tony.
I know. Not all of us are fucking darlings like you fucking chubby-headed fucks. Anyway, so...
We should tell you our story. Shit. I think it'll really frustrate you.
I think
think you hate our story.
Oh, well.
No, I'll tell you when we're done. I'll tell you
if it's anything like the set, I probably would hate it. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, if it's anything like the set, I probably would hate it. I'm kidding. Okay. He's just kidding now. But Tom has been coping with Bert on their shows saying, nah, we were good. People in the room liked it. The industry liked it. We got tons of messages saying we did great. That's just a bunch of haters. And yeah, maybe compared to Tony and Nikki, we didn't do as well, but we still did very good. Tony's going to start letting them know, not only did you not do just not as good, but you bombed. Listen to this.
Tell you when we're done. I'll tell you
if it's anything like the set, I probably would hate it. No, I'm kidding. You guys phoned it in like an Israeli airstrike.
Oh, and they look at this thing where they look at each other. I mean, this is what they were so worried about, and it's coming true. Look at that. We phoned it in, didn't we? Look at them. We phoned it. He goes, you guys phoned it in like an Israeli airstrike. And they go like this. Watch. We sure did. Oh, the pain. So they're laughing it up. They're trying to, pretend like it doesn't bother them. Look at the body language. I've never seen Tom sit like this. I've never seen his smiles so eerily turn to pain in slow motion. And I haven't seen Bert like this. Look at Bert.
So meek.
Meek, yeah.
He didn't even ask Tony if he wants a drink.
No. Yeah. Maybe that would help.
You guys phoned it in like an Israeli airstrike. I'm joking. Anyway.
No,
Bert was lip syncing my set and his set at the same time.
Tell me.
Okay, anyway.
Wait. So this is pretty huge in the fact that the guy who is the roast is about.
Yeah.
Who's a.
Ooh, Bert taking that sip. That's a delayed FS, of course. Look at that one. Hey, if your eyes are open and you're drinking, you're fooling. Full sip. That's the DFS. Delayed full sip. Yep. See how quick I am with those? I could do that with any 3 words. Give me 3 words. Any 3 words. That's the easy part.
No, it's not.
What I'm about to do is the hard part.
Tuesday, June 4th.
Okay, so that's T for Tuesday, J for June, and 4th, I would say F. So that's T. Oh, the moth! Oh, the moth! TJF?
Yep. Great
See,
job.
I could do that with any sentence or word. Look at this. So back to Bert. Back to them. Do we skip ahead here? I want to get to where he hammers it in and they start doing their defense where they start talking about, oh no, we did
30-30.
30-30. If you see that moth come around, let me know. It is darting. Everywhere you go is a bright light in this room. So the moth don't know what to do and it's flying from fixture to fixture. Yeah, I'll probably start taking out my little gun and start shooting at it. Okay, 30-30, huh?
Yep.
And how do you get there? 30-30. There we are.
Camera blocking all this shit. And I go, here's what it would look like. All right. So Dana White, ba, and then I go, fuck you, bitch. And I start walking. Right. And I go, here's the stool that Aaron Hernandez kicked out from under. I start showing them jokes, which I didn't do the whole time because you don't want other writers or anybody to hear any of your actual material.
Yeah.
I mean, they could hear your guys' material, but I mean, my good material. I didn't want them to hear any killer jokes.
Another diss, and Tom's getting sick of this shit now. Because this is not where they ever wanted to be. They don't want to be the laughing stock of the comedy community. They worked very hard to be the cool guys of comedy, the richest, the most fans, and now they're seeing this. They don't want to keep hearing this shit from Tony. Bert's getting a little agitated. Tom's getting a little, he's starting to go, he's showing body language here where he wants to hit.
I mean, they could hear your guys' material, but I mean, my good material, I didn't want them to hear any killer jokes that I had written.
We got it.
Because, it's a sneaky business, especially in Hollywood. That's why, one of the many reasons why
he's telling them about the business which they were in first. Hollywood. So they're sitting there like, I want to wring his fucking neck. At least that's what I'm making up is happening. Okay? which could very well be absolutely what's happening.
What the fuck out is like, make your own shit, save it for you, enough giving it away. So I wasn't doing any of my jokes during the blocking thing. And they're like, come on, Tony, show us what you're going to do. And
how
I'm
far
like,
ahead
no.
were you doing, like, were you prepping the jokes?
So what's crazy?
You see, work in the cope. You see this? Craft in the cope, I call this. Well, how long? You had like a lot of time to craft your jokes, right? He's setting you up to let you know, well, they only had a few days. So that's one of the copes, okay? Right? That doesn't make this any better. There's really no reason to cope about stuff because nobody's going to ever believe it, you know? Who's going to believe it? So they're going to start doing it, though. They're going to craft the cope, start laying down room for the cope to emerge.
You're going to do. And
how
I'm like,
far
no.
ahead were you doing, like, were you prepping the jokes?
So what's crazy is that I put together a small 4-person army immediately. I treated...
Okay. 4 people? Is that... I mean, if Drake said he had 4 ghostwriters, Drake, I'd say that's 4 too many. So here, he's got a team, an army of 4. Now, what about the Snoop Dogg joke that he did 13 years ago? What about that one? And do your peers know about that, or are they giving these brand new laughs to something they think is new? That's deceit. Did you tell all your peers? Oh, that was actually like a Snoop Dogg thing that I riffed on. You know, if you want to give credit to anyone, pocket like it's hot, light it up for Snoop Dogg. Fine. Snoop Dogg deserves respect after all the work he's done in this world. He's a hardworking guy. He's been around in our lives forever, right? Ever since, I don't know about you in Canada, were you raised with Snoop Dogg, sweetie? Did your parents raise you with Snoop? He's in my life since I could remember. I open my eyes, I see the LBC.
Same.
So I don't know if it was like that in Canada. Look how fucking miserable these two are. This is like Alex Jones when he heard he was locked out of his studio. We locked Alex Jones out of his studio, did this scare to Alex Jones where we pretended we're like the bankruptcy guys coming to lock it down. He bought it. He did this whole video ranting and raving about how they're coming to lock me out. No one ever came. It's a scare, Alex. Look it up. Look at Tom. Does this look fucking normal to you? This guy's, you know how many Zins he's swallowed? He's sick. Okay, watch this.
I put together a small...
you could go to 39.55.
Love it. 39.55. Okay, what's going to happen here? Oh, Tony's going to shit on him again. This is too much. Does anybody feel bad for Bert?
Yes.
Does anybody let Bert's sadness tickle your humanity?
Absolutely. I've been sticking up for
Does
Bert
anybody
for months.
ever feel bad for Tom?
No. He
See?
can die.
Oh, that better not be the moth going up my dress. This is a dress.
What if it did go up your dress and you had a moth in your sleeve?
I mean, it literally, I feel like it went up my leg once, too.
People are asking for moth merch.
Oh, yeah, to commemorate the day there was a bug on Redbar. Okay,
we should get one of those bug guys to come in that gives you like the big moth to hold. Is that possible?
Oh, do a old school
Yeah.
Tonight Show style thing where like a guy comes in a safari suit and gives me different lizards to hold.
But it's big bug.
People would get a kick out of that. To see me hold big bugs, I'd never do it. I'm afraid of all bugs. Sorry. All right, watch this.
There's a lot to make fun of you about.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much I was bringing to the table to be made fun of.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much I was going to make fun of myself authentically on accident.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's cool. I'm in for that. I'll get lit up. I'm not good at roast jokes. I'm not good at making fun of people.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Jeff knew that. And Jeff's like, well, we want to do something different.
Yeah.
Tom's still like, I'm not doing it.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, no.
Smart.
So part of Tom's cope is that he knew this wasn't going to work. And he didn't want to do it right away. And they've kind of got their story figured out. Bert and Tom kind of give each other looks to make sure, right? That's how this all went, right? And then Tony, listen to what jerk Tony says while Tom sits there like half the man he used to be. Listen to this.
Different.
Yeah.
Tom's still like, I'm not doing it.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, no.
Smart.
Smart. So this is about the 4th time he's confirmed that they bombed at the roast, which Tom and Bert had convinced themselves was just a nasty internet rumor. You think Tom's liking this? Oh, sometimes I want to cut off my whole beard just to spite his. Right? Makes me sick knowing I share the same hair color as this guy.
I know.
Disgusting. If you own a V, throw it out in retaliation to Tom. What do they call that? Where we all get together to do something? Throw out your Vs and send me pictures of you tossing those Vs in the garbage. We'll send you a gift card for Union LA. $1,200 gift card for a really expensive cardigan from Union LA. Okay. Let's see how Tom handles that.
Tom's still like, I'm not doing
Smart.
it.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, no.
Smart. You were right.
Oh, look at this little asshole. Wouldn't you want to Bart Simpson him? Look at this. Ooh. Look at Tony. I'm going to do a closer zoom and watch Tony's face.
You were right.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Look at that. You know, if this were Godzilla -1, I'd be getting the mechanics to fix the plane so that I could finally kamikaze into his mouth. But will I parachute out? You'll have to watch the movie Godzilla -1 to find out. But yes, I would love to fly a plane into his open mouth that is also carrying a bomb that blows off his head.
Oh, that's too. Keep going.
Oh my God, we're going into the depths.
He doesn't brush his tongue.
He's disgusting inside and out. Oh,
we're in him.
Look
we're
at that.
In him.
We're in him.
We're in him.
Whoa.
Wait, go back in one second.
Yeah. Hold on.
Whoa.
Watch this.
Whoa.
Look how far we can go. Okay, there he is. Look at that little asshole.
I was like, I don't. They're like, well, we want to break up. It was, I guess, sort of a version of what they ended up with you. They were like, we want to do something different.
Whoa! Look at Bert. So Bert reaches for nicotine help to get through this. Watch this. He locks eye contact with Tony. He almost wants Tony to know. And look what he does. He locks eye contact with Tony, and he does this.
What they ended up with you. They were like, we want to do something different.
Yeah.
We want to do the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and then we both, I thought, I go, you want us to both go to the podium?
It didn't even work.
Yeah. And they're like, no, just like almost like a variety piece.
Oh, no.
Maybe a screen. At first it was like,
this is like when I wanted to save Kong from Skull Island. We gotta help Kong. He is really, and he's got no one to talk to. Even that drunk ass bitch Leanne can't help him. You think Tom's gonna help me? We killed, bro. Don't worry about it. I'm off with my day now. Bye.
He never opens up.
You know, Bert needs to talk to me. Maybe I should tell Bert I've infiltrated all Better Health lines, and that every therapist he's talking to is me. No matter how he tries to connect with them, it's connecting to me. Wouldn't that be a funny thing? I show up on their little fucking Zoom call. Hello! Welcome to your Better Health consultation
you
here.
You should see if you can get hired, don't they?
I should get hired
anyone?
for Better Help and get you all the secrets from the comedians. Okay, let's see what happens here. Bert is devastated, yeah.
It's like a sports center thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when they pitched that one, we kind of were like, I don't know, man. Like
he's coping. Listen to the cope about why his set went
fun of
bad.
it in a sports center way.
Now, Tony ain't really listening anymore. When it's them talking about their side of the story, Tony's not interested. He's doing other things, checking his phone, taking his in. But Tom really wants to get this part out. He wants people to hear this part.
Like, I don't know, man. Like making fun of it in a sports center way.
Right.
So then we pitched this idea about making fun of him with like whiteness.
Yeah.
Being a psycho, and they're like, oh yeah, no one's doing that angle yet.
Look at Bert.
Sent them the script
vodka too.
They send their script, like their Puncho script. Combine the two.
Yeah, you're like, that's good enough.
Kind of.
That's great.
You see how Tony ends it? So Tom's trying to cope through his little thing, and he's really secluding himself under that little two bear. And then Tony says this.
combine the two.
Yeah, you're like, that's good enough.
Kind of.
That's great.
I'll tell you what.
No reason to work on this anymore. It's just the most watched thing ever.
Do you hear what he's doing? This is cruel now to do to your friends. But it doesn't matter because you killed, right? And everyone thinks you're the king. So what does it matter how anyone else feels? Now they're going to start getting a little defensive about this. Look at them. Bert has been hit over the head one too many times here. He does not like feeling like this.
What?
No reason to work on this anymore. It's just the most watched thing ever.
First and foremost, all you should be saying is thank you, Bert and Tom.
They're fighting back
without
now.
us, it is a bunch of people doing the exact same thing.
Right. So they're fighting, but they've got a couple. Oh, so you guys talked about this. All you should be doing is thanking Bert and Tom. Otherwise, it would have been the same thing. Watch what Tony says to this.
Because without us, it is a bunch of people doing the exact same thing.
Right.
Like we broke up. We definitely.
Yeah,
thank you
it was
to Kim Kardashian.
it was a comedy up until you guys started. And then you guys got to really change the tone a bit.
Yeah, everyone was doing comedy up until you guys got enough with the cracks. And then he looks around the room for his applause. Look at that. Look how you're making him feel. He's about to rip off one of his little basketball injury stitches. Yeah. You want to go play basketball with me? I'll fucking bash that ball against your nose. I'll make you run home crying to the nurse. Sorry, guys. I'm real sick of Tom. I will play him one-on-one, fair and square.
Tony's right. They were awful. They should be so embarrassed.
Yes, but...
But Tony should be respecting his elders.
Respect your elders.
It was a comedy up until you guys started. And then you guys got to really change the tone a bit. You got to make everybody appreciative of laughter.
I had
and
no
everybody's
idea.
already saying that Tony was amazing.
Yeah, you already
and
got
that
it.
Tom and Bert sucked. So don't you think they've got it? And imagine if someone came and told you that Kill Tony sucked.
Yeah,
You'd flip.
Exactly. And you're doing this to them live in front of their audience who's been making fun of them for weeks. And now you're confirming that also the comedians and the peers think this way too. That's a low blow. That's a big hit to the Bears. Let's see how they handle this.
I told him this.
I'm still living in oblivion. I had a blast. I think we did great. I've not met one person.
So you're sick of it. I had a blast. I think we did great. I haven't met one person. Listen to this. So they've had enough of the cracks.
Living in oblivion. I had a blast. I think we did great. I've not met one person that did not like what we did.
No,
I don't read comments because there's like, it's like, what are you gonna shit on someone who didn't maybe do as well as you or Nikki? That's the thing,
right?
It's like what is as well as you and Nikki who were next level. It was next level.
And you have to
celebrate
realize,
if your team wins and you were on the dais. All you do is go, that was fun as shit.
Look, it's like when you see a boxer or a wrestler attempt the UFC.
Okay, come on.
Tony.
So now you're telling them not only did you bomb, but you had no choice but to bomb because you're nowhere near as good as me and Nikki. You're just a boxer trying to do UFC, not like us, cage fighters. So now you're really it's not just a joke that they bombed anymore. You're saying, listen.
Yes. All you do is go, that was fun as shit.
Look, it's like when you see a boxer or a wrestler attempt the UFC. You could be an Olympic gold medalist stand-up comedian and you go into that world where Nikki has that much experience and
so much.
Yeah.
We were doing this. Peter Shore, the owner of the Comedy Store, is doing a mini documentary behind the scenes about Kill Tony. Going to Madison
Mini doc
Square
coming
Garden.
out.
Just
We
so
love
happened
those.
We're staying at the same hotel in LA, and he's shooting this thing from the driver's seat, me on the way to the roast. And I give this weird analysis, just looking out the window. I kind of forget that he's there. I'm just talking to my team, kind of like talking out a meditative, like, as corny as this sounds, like state, because it's jokes, who cares? But anyway, and I literally called what was going to happen because I know this world so well.
Yeah.
And I knew the order of events. And I literally go, it's going to be a fucking smoke show the first 20, 30 minutes. Yeah. I go, the energy is going to be insane. It's going to be beautiful. Tom's going to look great. It's going to be intimidating. He's going to be taller
Tom
than everybody
Brady.
remembers. He's going to be cooler than everybody thinks.
He wasn't cool. He was a freak. He's a loser freak. This Tom Brady, how anyone could enjoy him. That is a psychotic man. That's like liking a guy from Selling Sunset. That's a sick fucking guy. He doesn't look handsome. That's not a handsome man. That's a fucking creep. Doesn't he have all these secrets with his kids? Did you not listen to the roast jokes? Guy's sick. He's so cool. He's so rock handsome. He's dead tall. What? You're looking at the guy and going, damn, he's like a tall, great guy. Not me. I looked at Tom and I go, who's this has-been washed-up reality show? Is this Vanderpump related? That's what I think of when I see a guy like Tom Brady. It means zilch to me. Now Travis Kelce, that's a star.
Intimidating. He's going to be taller than everybody remembers. He's going to be cooler than everybody thinks. And Jeff and Nikki are going to light the place on fire. I go, especially, Jeff, we
You
know what he's
predicted it
going
all?
to do. So Jeff can't have a breakout performance because he's Jeff. He's done it. He is a breakout performance. Nikki, and I go, Nikki is going to decimate the room, and everybody is going to be playing.
Don't you want to go back and delete that roast from your viewing experience? You know, they can't just be humble about it, huh?
Chop. So
With
me,
their
2
stolen
hours
jokes.
in, after everybody and their mother and every special guest has to fucking just know that that's going to happen. I can't be like, oh, well, there's no catching up to that.
Okay,
It's like a mentality
I'm going to ask you a very
Okay.
fucked up question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You could go to 45 minutes if you want to skip ahead.
45. Oh, what do we got here?
Oh, this I just thought was a funny bird thing.
Oh, the king joke. Okay, let's see.
Many people.
This
you
is
can
the
see-
Snoop Dogg joke.
We used to do this thing, right? All the writers, say there's fucking 12, 16 writers or whatever.
16?
Everybody sends in all their jokes. A writer's assistant compiles them, and then we read them in the room and all laugh, right?
It's cheating.
You could see where my jokes start. You can tell because it's these fucking
Short setup,
one-liners where everybody else has 3 lines or a paragraph or whatever the fuck it is. Sometimes 2 lines, whatever. And if I have a long one in my clump, it's like the Bert Tiger King, Liver King. And people are like, what the fuck is that?
Such a great joke.
But I'm obsessed with short jokes. It's one of the reasons why, Jeff and I clung together immediately. He's like, what the fuck?
Peter, make me another drink, please.
Whoa! I'm so amazing. Like my jokes are like da 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 da, decimating. Jeff looks at me. He's like, "Where did this kid come from?" I mean, everybody around me is thinking how wonderful I am. And then Bert goes,
clung together immediately. He's like, what the fuck?
Peter, make me another drink, please.
And nobody else even reacts to that.
No. Let's see if we could capture that. This is after Tony was done ranting about how wonderful he is, how he was the king of the roast. Bert does this.
Another drink, please.
Whoa. And look at this. What's going on over here? Kind of sick of hearing Tony talk about this, right? Gotta wrap this ep up.
Okay, go to 51.
51 up.
Oh.
Okay, let's see what happens here. 51. Tom keeps glancing at the clock. He's sick of being clowned.
You might have to zoom in for this one, but I swear to God, Tom is wanting to end and disgusted.
He's heard enough. Nobody wants to sit there and listen to somebody brag, especially when they're your peer, under you. Okay.
And it was, look, Tom said this. Tom gave you this compliment behind your back. They were talking about
that was a
people
clock glance.
were saying how great was that roast? How great was Tony Hinchcliffe in that way? Tom's like, we've watched this guy cook his entire life. Yeah. And he's like, we've watched this guy be a monster his entire career. We knew he had that ability. I don't think we just got to watch him shine to everyone the way he's always shined.
Clock. He wants to go. Okay, what's our next one?
5140. You could probably
5140. Let's see what happens here. Oh, okay. Tony's going to say this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sickening. Listen to this.
Or wait, actually, it's even better.
Oh, okay. Let's listen.
And it was
exactly what it felt like to me. Again, I always make corny UFC analogies because it's my other favorite thing. but like, and this is obnoxious to say, but it really felt like my like Nate Diaz versus Connor moment where everybody was shocked except for me. And even I was fucking like when Kevin Hart, that moment, you remember that moment where
of course.
he's going on and on for a minute, 30
He was
seconds
horrible.
and I turned to you and that was real, by the way. I wasn't kidding. I literally go, is he still talking about me? And you go, yes. And I remember your face like, yeah, dude, this is your fucking moment right now.
Well, then Tony turned to me. He goes, I've arrived.
I said,
Oh, Tony, no, not on Red Bar. Tony turned to me and said, I've arrived. And Tom wants you to know how gross that was. Listen to this.
moment right now.
Well, then Tony turned to me. He goes, I've arrived.
I said that?
And you go, and now
I was like,
knows.
I said, you know, it's so
Everybody
funny.
knows.
Thanks, Tom.
What you did is
And everybody knows.
That's what he said.
He turned to Tom during the roast and said, I've arrived, and everybody knows. That doesn't make anyone sick. Come on. Joke world. All right, what's our next one?
Did you want to hear about his childhood home?
Sure.
I forget
For
what
1
he-
second.
010202.
010202. Tony's childhood home. Remember, we just revealed he lived in Gummo. Real sick, inbred. Definitely some incest. You look at his mom. His mom is a mountain of features stuck together on a woman. I mean, she looks like she could have been made in the Goonies lab or something. A ghoulie. You know, she looks like something that came out of a toilet bubbling and brewing, and they got... Have you ever seen her? These aren't good people.
I don't think people know who you are. Right. I think when people think of you, they think of Hollywood, LA, move to Austin, embrace the Austin, outlaw, whatchamacallit. But it all stems from you growing up, and I didn't even realize this, in a rough part of Ohio.
oh yeah, the roughest.
Yeah, and I don't think Youngstown, I didn't understand how rough it was
It's such a-
because you don't look like that.
Exactly. And I don't
See, they're thinking rough. You don't look like that. Like rough is in the hood. That's what everyone's confused by. It's like, no, he looks like the rough I'm talking about. Gummo rough. We got to get that out there. This is a whole new way to look at Tony. And whenever he brings up, oh, yeah, we know it's from a rough neighborhood. A sicko, like a white, incest white neighborhood. Gross. Real gross.
Didn't understand how rough it was
It's such a-
because you don't look like that.
Exactly. And I don't sound like it. That's why one of my least favorite things in the world are white people that try to sound black that were raised in all black neighborhoods. Because it's
You
like,
weren't raised in an all black neighborhood. It was an all white neighborhood with people with all sorts of warped faces. All right, what's the next code here?
010300. I think this will be the second last before the end.
Great. Here he is. Let's see what he's going to do here. Okay. Oh, super bragging finale. This is labeled.
can't
The
even
super
I couldn't
bragging
remember.
finale. Let's hear this.
The coolest thing about you is that, like,
and so, that's
One
where the
drink, I know it's making me
fearlessness
sick.
begins.
Let's
So
do it,
what's
guys.
Crazy is that by the time I hit the cotton picking, and by the time I hit the, the fearlessness with him, I moved to Sam
The
J,
fearlessness.
black, obese, lesbian. So Netflix checked off a lot of boxes. Now I hit them once in the ribs, right?
Yeah.
Mr.
I hit
2 minute
them
set,
once in
stay
the
at the
ribs.
desk. We didn't want him here anyway, right?
Yeah.
Just one little.
Yeah.
And so I was actually that hell Nas joke, which I knew the second it clicked in my head. Like I was actually this sounds crazy, but I was getting a massage at the time. And
He was, listen to this. I got to say this. Unless you're one of the owners of Amazon, okay? I don't really know if I like these guys getting massages. I mean, I feel like that's kind of slavery. You're making these women, these poor women, sit there and rub your disgusting back-kneed bodies. For what? You get a Theragun, you go like this, and there you go. It's just as good as a massage there. You really don't need to be getting massaged.
But Tony wears the full Under Armour
Oh,
suit
yeah.
while getting massage. So
He's laying, he's got his head in that hole, and he's getting a massage. Of course, this is probably a massage that he makes come to his house. and he likes to make sure the masseuse sees him doing business. He's got his laptops under the thing. He's got
He's
his
on
head,
a yacht.
head in the hole. Yeah, he's on a yacht. He's taking business calls. He's screaming at people. And listen to what this jerk tells us here.
Which I knew the second it clicked in my head. Like, I was actually, this sounds crazy, but I was getting a massage at the time. And I trap a lot of shit in my shoulders. This is a weird, like, braggadocious, stupid thing.
Listen to this.
But, like, the masseuse had her fucking elbow right in here. And I'm trying to think of a Sam J joke. And I'm like, okay, black lesbian. Come on, Tony. You've got this. You've got this. So what do? They eat pussy, right? But what do black women say? What do black women say? Oh, hell nah. And I'm like, oh my God, nah, Nas on it. She doesn't eat pussy. She all hell Nas on it. And I stop the massage.
Listen.
And I'm literally like, I'm sorry, I have to get up. And I get my face out of my, you know what I mean? Like your face is swollen. You can't even open your eyes.
It's swollen.
And I'm writing this down, and I tell the masseuse, this perfect little, like, sweet, innocent, right, bull of a chick that fucking goes crazy on my upper back. I go, I just wrote a joke about a black lesbian. I said, she doesn't eat pussy. She all hell Nas on it. And she's literally like, ah! And she's not that type of person. Like,
Bert literally almost burst into tears during this part. You're bragging about how the masseuse even
It's
thought.
like from Entourage, a guy being like, I gotta have this girl as my masseuse. She's the only one who can get her elbow really in my shoulder.
Even just the
way
whole
I
setup of this story. It's like some asshole from TV.
She's literally like, ah! And she's not that type of person to like hysterically crack up. And I'm like, oh, fuck, this is like a crazy joke. Like, it's different than just a great joke. It's fucking, you got to go for it. You have to believe. And another super technical thing is I take a few steps out. I saw a Drake
Don't
concert.
you just want to kill yourself in your stomach?
Like 8 months
Shoot
ago,
yourself in
which
your
was
stomach.
amazing. And I kept noticing that he would do this thing where he would go right up to the edge of the stage at times. He's on a box in the round. And on big things and on big lines, it almost looked like his foot was hanging off. And like he was, it's a high.
He's talking about Drake and how cool Drake looked. This is no joke. Listen to this shit. Have you ever seen Drake perform? He looks so cool. So I took that to my comedy and brought Drake to comedy. I'm the Drake of comedy. You're the Drake of comedy, huh?
Okay.
It's fucking, you got to go for it. You have to believe. And another super technical thing is I take a few steps out. I saw a Drake concert like 8 months.
You did, first of all? We've only seen a few clips where they're making fun of him on Twitter. That's as far as we even watch. Did you go to a Drake concert? Are you an obryist?
Of course, Drake loves Kill Tony, remember?
Drake loves Kill Tony, of course. Yeah, that is one of the rumors. Tony said this himself. Drake is a big fan. He watches every week while he gets shot at by Kendrick Lamar.
I take a few steps out. I saw a Drake concert like 8 months ago, which was amazing. And I kept noticing that he would do this thing
like
where he'd go right up to the edge of the stage at times. He's on a box in the round. And on big things and on big lines, it almost looked like his foot was hanging off.
Drake.
And like he was, and it's a high stage, extra high stage
so
too.
high. He could have
and it
been
would look like
killed.
he was about to fall off. And I loved it. Sometimes I'll see like a great concert or something and I'll be like, oh, that's rock and roll.
That's good.
So I started kind of applying that to the big theater stand-up shows that I was doing. And on the all hell Nas joke, I was so excited and I looked down. I almost fell off the fucking stage live on
doing
Netflix,
Drake,
'cause I
huh?
took a few
You
steps up. I
thought you were
she
Aubrey.
doesn't eat pussy. She like I
Just like Drake. I agree. You're just like Drake. Tell everyone.
Really
stepped out for
almost live on Netflix in the middle of a killer set, almost disappeared out of the frame.
Real
great.
quick before
really great.
we
Okay.
wrap up, how happy is your mom for all this?
Oh, she's ecstatic. She's absolutely fucking
She
thrilled.
came on your mom's house
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah,
or
I'd like to speak with your mom about how you were created, okay? How many different fucking men like Freddy Krueger? Do you know how Freddy Krueger was made? There was a nun working at the insane asylum, And the nun was raped by all the inmates of the asylum, or the woman working there. She had Freddy Krueger as a baby. The psycho, evil, is they say the souls of 1,000 madmen. So I'd like to speak to your mom. I'd like to see who your father was. He can't just be this one guy. It's got to be a number of guys. So spread that. Get that out there. This is the Tony Hinchcliffe. If you want to bow to this guy, if you want this guy to be your Drake, go ahead. But we hate Drake here at Red Bar. Or was there one more?
01-14-28.
01-14-28. Here we go. Let's see what this is. They end quickly. Tom's getting out of here. Tony could go on for 10 more hours. That's what this note says.
Because I've done arenas and I've done stand-up in the round at Madison Square Garden and all these places with Joe and my own big giant theaters. But there was something about all of that coming together live on Netflix.
Awesome to see, and we're super happy for you personally,
thank you.
for the podcast too. Also, we will call you on the next roast.
Yeah, I'm going to help you guys out.
I'm going to help you guys out.
I'll do the same fucking set.
Thank you. See? Bert's not going to take this fucking shit. Not from you, nitwit. Hey, Bert, I got your back, bro.
We respect you.
Respect. Look at that. Look at what you've done to Bert. I won't stand for that. Not after what people did to the machine.
I'll do the same fucking set.
Thank you.
I'll do the same fucking set. And you can suck my dick, America.
The world. It's global, Bert. It's the whole world.
We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bert and Tom.
Wow. See? I told you. 3 bad guys. We'll take a break. We'll come back with much more Red Bar here at this late night. What time is it? 12:59 at night, guys. It's getting spooky. We'll be right back on Red Bar. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, I heard that.